We're gonna have a study on single leg X or Rumiashi, how to sweep and get on top from that position. So we're not gonna focus so much on leg locking. We're gonna focus on how to use leg entanglements to sweep, get on top, and get up points. So we have Jacob. First, the first important step of any type of guard or a leg entanglement is your ability to off balance and move your opponent around, especially from single leg X, because you don't actually have your legs physically locked in place. You want to make sure you can move him around and make sure you can never set his stance. So if my opponent is standing over the top of me like this for any period of time, this is a bad thing for me, because from here you can easily unlock my legs and now my hips climb down and now I can think about escaping. So first, initially, think about bringing your shoulders all the way through towards his ankles and throwing your hips nice and up and scissoring your legs. Now, what controls him, what off balances him, isn't you pushing on his hip. It's you opening and closing his knee. And that's a big key detail you're gonna use with his off balances. If I just focus on pushing the hip, it's not that effective. But if I lock my legs up high and I take my hips over his knee, you can see me simply making that adjustment will make my off balance 4 or 5 times stronger. So we'll do it again, just the hip. So if I focus on pushing the hip, maybe I move him a couple steps, but it's not really that threatening. So really focus on taking your hips all the way underneath, scissoring and opening and closing the knee. So your first drill, it's very simple. Just off balance your opponent and either knock him down towards a knee or towards standing. So as Jacob tries staying standing, I hook his far hip, I take my hips off the mat and I extend. Keep a sustained extension, right? A resisting opponent is gonna back up a couple times, but ideally, you should be able to knock him over. So as he tries to resist, I keep extending. You can see eventually I can knock him down and now I can start going into my ankle locks or I can start coming up and getting my points. One more time. Hips off the mat, all the way through. If you feel like you can't off balance him because he takes his head so far forward, you can also start pulling and turning his knee internal. So if we extend and he takes his head very forward and I can't get it off balance, pull, either grab the second leg, or as he overcorrects to extend, we off balance him backwards. So now we start playing a dilemma where we push him forward, push him backwards, push, pull. And anytime you're playing guard, you want to push, pull, and that's how you off balance him. That's how you knock him down to his hip. This is how you set up all your attacks. So never have single leg X or Rumiashi where you're just standing over the top of you. This is horrible. This is not very effective. You either want to knock him down towards the butt or on his knee. So from here, we take our hips up and out and focus on opening up the knee like so. Go back. Good. If he leans forward too much, then we pull, either grab the leg and extending and giving that push-pull reaction. Make sense? Yep. 3, 2, 1. So, a better opponent would drop towards his knee. And you guys can apply this defensively. When you're defending this position, never drop to your butt, drop to your knee instead. So what I mean by this is if I'm this position here and I start extending, rather than falling towards his butt, he just dropped towards his knee. And now when I try extending, it's extremely hard. And now I have to work from here. All right. The good news is, in order for him to actually escape this position and pull his legs out and undo my entanglement, he needs to build back up towards the standing position and separate up my feet. So if you do break him down to a knee, right, you've won the first battle, which is make him unathletic. Right? As a general rule of thumb in jiu-jitsu, the less athletic you make your opponent, the more you can control him. Right? Now he's on a knee versus standing. When he's on his knee, he can't move as fast. He would have to build back up towards the standing position. And now we can think about off balancing and wrestling up. So I want you to think about a simple cue. If you can get his knee, hand, or butt on the mat, you can off balance him and wrestle up. And it's in that order, right? The most preferable is getting his butt off the mat. The second preferable is having his knee on the mat. And the least preferable is having his hand on the mat. So from here, his knee is on the mat, so we can just shoot up. What we're gonna do, we're gonna go foot behind foot, and we're gonna pull our knees to the chest and just extend him and off balance in this direction. If I can get my shoulders past my hips, I can stay athletic and I can take him down, right? From here, I can take my hand towards his leg, lift his leg up, shoot him double, chasing his hips and off balancing him towards his butt. If I can't get my hips, my shoulders from my hips, because he's pushing back into me, we have other options like tripod sweeps, which we'll do in a second. But the main thing from there, he's on a knee, so you can wrestle up, right? So we're gonna think about off balancing him backwards slightly, and our hips and shoulders. This is what is gonna make or break this move, right? If I try wrestling up from here, I'm not very athletic. So, very important, take your hand on the mat and take yourself towards the athletic position. As he tries running you down now, you're on your knees, so now you can come up and you can get your points finishing your double leg, right? And the leg's always gonna be there. He's gonna be on a knee, and it's relatively easy just to run him down or simply just stand up. So once again, your opponent's standing over the top of you. Trying to wrestle up from here, it's impossible. It's never gonna happen. So we're using our off balances, right? We're pushing, we're pulling, we're pushing. He's gonna drop towards a knee instead of dropping towards his butt. Once we get here, we've already won the first battle, which is make him unathletic. From here, we take our foot behind our foot, we pull on each side chest, and we shoot forward. Move towards this position, right? The faster you get here, the better. Now we can come up towards the knees, we can tap the knee, or we can just stand up and run him down. And if he does push back into me, and he does get my hips behind, then we can think about using other moves like a reverse tripod, or just simply go back towards your leg entanglement and start off balancing. You haven't lost anything. Any questions?
One of the good ones.
All right, circle up, guys. So now we're gonna cover what if he pushes back into me. So if he pushes back into me, he's giving me a pushback reaction. So it's a good time to start using that reaction to go into another form of offense. So we start off here, we extend and we break him down towards the knee. We start going towards the air. We try going foot to foot, but he pushes back into me. He doesn't have to come up standing, he just has to push back into me. That's the main thing. Just simply him leaning towards me will make it harder. So I use my legs to get up onto my opposite hip. Now my main goal from here is to put weight in this direction because he's driving here. So look at my hook. When I switch onto my hip, my left hook in this case will turn in. And what this does, this puts weight over this side. But when I do this naturally, his foot will base out so I can't off balance him. But see how we have a free foot? So we use our free foot to attack his base. We either go on the ankle, on the knee, the choice is yours. Both are very effective. Right? I like the ankle, but the knee is just as good. From here, think about molding your foot around whatever you choose, taking it out and applying downwards knee pressure. See what happens? He's always gonna post with his hand and lift his butt off the mat. Lift his butt off the mat. From here, you take your hand and you take out that post. So now you just grab that wrist and pull it up off the mat. And now you just think about taking your knee and coming up. You can either go near hip or you can go far hip and pin him. Doesn't matter. The main thing is about keep the leg high. So if he tries scrabbling and wrestling up, right, you have him pinned and you can control where he goes next. So very effective option. Very good for coming on top. So we're here, we off balance, we knock him down. We try wrestling up, but he's giving me that pushback reaction. So I take my leg and I kick it here, right? My opponent's standing now. If he's standing, going for the knee doesn't make as much sense. Go for the calf/shin and really emphasize turning your knee in and taking that foot off the mat and sending him down towards the mat. If he's standing, he probably won't be able to post and keep his butt off the mat. So from here, just curl your legs towards the inside. As he tries to stand up, I bring his knee backwards. Look where we end up. We end up in the exact same position. We do what we did before, where you run him down with a double leg. Now we get on top, finishing our wrestle up. So once more, reverse tripod sweep, very effective. And ideally, we do it when he's on a knee, because that's the best time to do it. That's when he's most unathletic. We always threaten the wrestle up. He pushes back in, we turn onto our hip, and we attack the ankle or the knee, taking it out like so. When we do it, go back, we're turning our knee, so we're putting weight into that hip, and indirectly, we're opening up his knee, right? Remember at the beginning, I talked about what moves the opponent is his knee opening up. So we open up his knee via our knee, we grab the wrist, we pull it off the mat, we off balance him towards his butt. Come back up. If he comes towards a standing position, we kind of hip escape towards the side. We can even use our hand to push on the shoulder to assist, and we open up that knee. As we do, as he tries stepping, we intercept that step, and we knock him down towards his butt, and we lift it up, right? When you do it very well timed, looks very beautiful, because you catch our foot off the mat, and you knock him down towards his butt. Yep, 3, 2, 1. Thank you. They're filming? Yeah, all right, so go up, guys. So now we also need an option if my opponent's balance is very good and I can't knock him down towards his knee or his butt. So sometimes you will face a very good opponent, right? And you're trying to off balance, but you can't. And from here, you start separating your feet, your hips start climbing down the mat. Now, the moment your feet separate, your ability to off balance becomes pretty much zero. Right? How am I supposed to open up his knee when my hips can't connect towards his leg? So from here, just simply think about unlocking your legs and off balancing him overhead with your hook. So take your foot on the mat for power. So this allows me to take my butt off the mat and drive. My other hand will block, and this is very important. I take my foot near his butt and I just extend it forward. See, when I extend, he has to step his foot forward and catch himself. So the idea is my hand acts like a foot sweep, like it's a sai. So as he tries stepping, it just blocks, and see what happens? His hands go on the mat. And now from here, we have a couple options. We have double leg control. So just think about grabbing at the knee, pulling your knees towards your chest, and shooting back up. Now as he stands back up, you just off balance and backwards, and now there's no way you can maintain balance because you have double ankle control. From here, same as before, curl your feet towards the outside, get on your knees, shoot a double leg, and get top position. Yep. So he's standing up. Remember, the ideal is have your off balance so strong that you push, pull, and you knock him down towards the knee. And you start working in this simple sequence where you off balance, reverse tripod. But sometimes there's gonna be days where he does trip your feet and you can't work in an ideal world. So when this happens, foot goes on the mat, butt lifts for power, and extend and off balance. So pull your knees to your chest and lift. See how his ankle steps? Good. Take your hand and just block it, outstretch it. Don't reach for it. Just have it ready up high here. So it's naturally gonna run into it and it's gonna get his hands towards the mat. And once his hands are towards the mat, life is pretty good. We're gonna look to pull ourselves in, shoot ourselves up, and off balance and backwards. Right? We also have other options like leg locking, going to X guard. I'll leave it up to you. But once we're here and we get second leg control, very good option. Just wait for him to stand back up, and as he does, extend, knock him down towards the floor, and immediately come up and think about shooting a double leg and ending up back in his guard. Any questions?